Okay, so where we at? Where we at? Where we're at is, okay, can you learn reflexes? Can you learn instincts, choices that are similar to that, to behave similar to that? If you don't want to be so specific, or we don't have to be a, you know what I mean? We could just say, can you learn split-second decisions, split-second choices? Okay, can you relearn? Can you modify? Can you change? Can you develop ones? Okay, if the answer is yes, or if the answer is ever going to be yes, we do it through physical training and mental training. Physical preparation and mental preparation for something. That's what training is doing. Okay, I've trained all my life. Okay, an incredible amount of techniques and stuff like that for a whole bunch of situations. In the beginning, and like a lot of people, okay, it was through an already established system, an already established martial art, already established set of techniques and stuff like that. So let's just take some types as an example here, right? So I've trained for years to be able to do some kind of block, deflection, shield, and strike. Now, the reason we keep doing the repetition over and over and practicing versions of them and stuff, definitive, one hit, breathing at the same time, step in, okay, and jam your opponent at the same time, and strike. The reason that we do these there's a couple of main reasons. One, we're mastering the technique itself, the mechanics. We're getting familiar with it, and we're mastering the mechanics. But also, okay, what we're doing is we're programming ourselves. We're programming that behavior. We're programming that technique to be as natural as possible, for us to be as comfortable as possible. Okay, so through training, through practice, I'm trying to get these techniques as second nature as possible. But not just, okay, and what's involved with that is as second nature as possible in the physical, in the feel of it, the mechanics and the feel of it, but also my ability to choose properly and effectively, okay, when to do them. Okay, these are all key points, jewels that I just told you right there. It's never going to vary between anybody who's accurately talking about this. And I don't have a revelation or a secret insight on this. This is the classic, fundamental, and sound type of stuff. This is what's happening in training and stuff like that. So, if somebody was to ask me, what do I feel? I believe I side with yes. I side with, at the very least, okay, we can modify or affect. We can affect, okay, reflexes and instincts to some degree or not, without a doubt, because it just for me, that's what I believe. Because in a logical sense, okay, you don't practice something 1,000 times and then it disappears. But there are some really, really cool, great, complicated or more complex details involved with that, and you might have a lot of fun thinking about that stuff, okay? Because at the same time, I was a biology major, and I do have biology classes and stuff like that, so I'm pretty sure I remember that maybe the classic science thing is you can't learn, okay, your instincts. You can't learn reflexes and stuff like that. Sort of comes with the definition of reflexes. Look at me squinting right now. Listen, guys, it would only be insincere if I tried to come off as if I knew exactly, and maybe the confusion or whatever was me claiming, oh, I'm just being facetious. No, I mean, you know, we're all real here. I'm not an expert or master at those things. But like I said, I'm pretty sure I remember. Right? I'm pretty sure I remember that the classic or traditional stance or belief or understanding is that you, for the most part or entirely, you can't learn your reflexes. You can't learn your instincts and stuff like that. But so what I was saying is, I do believe that we can affect them. I do believe that we can support them even if by effect we get a little bit nervous in thinking, well, by effect, how much do you mean change? Because if we start to admit that we can change our instincts, then how much we're a lot more closer to being able to learn them. And are you really changing an instinct, or are you just kind of learning a new one, or a very similar one, or just a version of that? You know, listen, we're not here to talk about whatever, right? Woo-hoo. But whatever gets me to be able to make a decision and do an action that I would like to do in a certain situation or whatever, then that's fine with me. Whether it's not an original one or whatever, but it's just a new or a modification or it's a version of it, that's fine. But the details that we were talking about and stuff involve. Okay, so if we can't learn and significantly or notably change and develop and modify our instincts and split-second responses, involuntary responses and stuff like that. And I understand comes with part of the definition of being involuntary. So it's sort of out of your cognitive or at least intentionally conscious desire and decision and want and stuff like that. The great thing about it is, that's what I was mentioning before, we definitely can, in terms of the moments, the split seconds to whenever, the moments after the first initial instant phase. Okay, so a situation happens, a situation breaks out, right? And your first instinct, whatever, is to do whatever you did. All right, and let's say whatever you did is not what you want to have done, but you did it, The moments right after that can be just as critical. Can you have enough sense to stay calm? Can you have enough sense to come out of the instantaneous phase, the reflex phase, and now, stay calm or whatever, identify, and now make the decision that you want to make. Hell, man, we're all human. We'll definitely take that. If in the moment that somebody slips and is nearly about to fall and they're clinging, and on for their life, and you get scared because it was, let's say, a big commotion or whatever, and your first reaction is to back away, and you get scared and stuff like that, and they're over there, Can, within the next 2 seconds or the preceding seconds, can you snap to it and say, boom, no, or even it's safe, or it looks safe enough, fine, they just slipped, the mountain part is not crumbling, now go grab them, because it also works for that as well. Don't think that making the right decision once you have a moment to think about it is going to happen just because in the beautiful calm moments of hanging out with your friends in the living room, everyone discussed all the great things they would do if somebody was in trouble. It's still the same way. It still would be great if you could practice and train for those things, but at the very least you could mentally prepare for them. I understand that it could be a bit difficult to train and practice for some kinds of crisis and emergencies and stuff like that, but if you're not in the profession of it, sort of, but at the same time we're all familiar with stuff like that. That's what your first aid and first responder stuff is. That's what your CPR is and stuff like that. You certainly are, trying to get a little practice and familiarity with certain traumas and emergencies that may happen and how you can respond to them and stuff like that. So yeah, the seconds and the moments after your reflex are also critical and stuff, especially if the initial moment is a decision or something that you didn't want or is not the optimal one yet. Or hey, it doesn't have to be so negative either. Your first initial reflex, your first instinct action or whatever can be whatever it was, and it doesn't have to be negative. It was what it was. It might even be beneficial, but how do you follow that up now with the second and the third one? A lot of people may have finally gotten comfortable or developed the ability to run in when they can or whatever and start giving CPR, at least chest compressions, right? A lot of people may do that. But what about the next steps after that? Okay? Do you have, does it require all of your, and do you get a tunnel vision just to be able to perform that one proper? Okay? Or do you now, or how do you now work on the next things? Yes, I got myself to get in there, chest compressions to this person. Okay, but can I look around? Can I say to call an ambulance? Is there a defibrillator? Something that gives, the machine that gives them, because a lot of people might not know yet. Still, believe it or not, okay? A machine that gives it on the wall or whatever, okay, look for a security guard. Go get a security guard, because they should know, whatever. So can you get these, you know what I mean? Anyone else want to help me? Because if it's just you and you're in a situation where you're already trying to give directions and get help and you don't know or whatnot, okay, you can get fatigued very fast. Like I said before, when adrenaline kicks in, it can go both ways. It can give you great strength and great abilities, but at the same time, it burns you out. It can burn you out really fast. No matter how well trained you are, no matter how much conditioning you have, you can get out of breath really fast.